Okay, so are you back? Let's see who is around. Just type something. You may just type 1 if you're around, if you return from the break. Yeah, just type 1 for me if you're here, if you're around. Great, some people are around, but since we've been waiting for some time, I think the break is over. Let's continue. So, how was the first session? Did you learn something? Did you get something out of that session, or did you manage to follow everything I did? Okay, let's just. How much did you manage to understand? Can you rate your understanding from 1 to 10? Okay, good. Can see 10. That's very good. Okay, in the second session, we will talk about. Let me just take a note and note.md, and we will talk about conditionals, and we will talk. What's happening there? Okay, conditionals and loops. I think before that arrays, and then loops, and then functions, and then I think that will be the end of the day. Yeah. What I said is actually how much percent do you understand? Can you rate your understanding from 1 to 10? That's what I asked. If you, some of you, if you didn't hear what I said. Okay, let's move on. Now let's talk about conditionals. And I have created already a file, but I'm not sure if I connected it or not. So let's connect that script, and again that file, conditionals. I may just comment out this for some time because I don't need that. I will focus on this file. So what is conditionals, or what's conditions? Yeah, it's just the same as the English word condition, In life, we can be at different condition, Maybe you might be at home or at work, or you might be at a very good mood, you might be happy or sad. All those it could be dark or light. So all those conditions can be handled. So based on conditions, we can make decisions. Yeah. So we need if. So if something, for instance, if I'm happy, if I'm healthy, if I'm rich, and if there's no corona, I go out or I can visit somewhere or something like that. So that is conditions. Maybe I may tell you some story. Actually, everybody is a programmer. The difference between a programmer and other people who doesn't write code, is actually programmers change every life activities to code. Yeah. For instance, today you plan to come to this lesson. That's a program. You heard about the announcement, you scheduled, and you showed up on time. Yeah? So that's actually a condition. So you wrote a program on your mind and you show up. So, but programmers can change every life, every activities into code. So everybody's a programmer, but the difference is that programmers know how to change activities to code and code to product. Okay, what do you think about that statement, guys? Do you agree? Yeah, so that is my understanding. So to write a condition, we need the if what is this reserved word or keyword, followed by a parenthesis, and then followed by a curly bracket or a code block. This could be, this condition could be any condition, you know. So our condition will be, this block code will be executed, this block code will be executed. I'm just writing random, executed only if this block code will be executed only the condition is true. Okay, console.log, the condition is true. Let me change this true and I will show you. True. Have you seen? The condition is true. The condition is true. I will be executed. So let's take this, let's put it like let condition true. So you may actually compare it something like this, condition is equal to true. I will talk about I think I forgot to talk about logical operators after data types. Maybe that's also a very good idea. Before we move much further, I had to stop here and talk about the operators, all the operators. There are some operators we didn't talk about. We have covered arithmetic operators, so I'm not going to talk about arithmetic operators. Yeah, we talked about it, but comparison operators, comparison operators, for instance, this greater than or greater than equal to, less than or equal to, and it may be not equal to. So we have to talk about this first. Yeah, in programming in JavaScript, this is not something related to equality. Okay, instead it's assignment. When we say, for instance, name, let name is equal to John, so actually we are storing the name John in the variable name. So this is, we call it assignment operator. Yeah, so nothing to do. But the comparison operators, for instance, let's do print console.log is 2 less than 3. Yeah, it should be true. Is 2 less than or equal to 3? Yes, that's true also. Print, let's also see console.log 4 is greater than 3. That's true. Is 4 greater than or equal to 3? That's also true. Okay, then let's see console.log is 4 is equal to 3. Now you may see something like this. Of course, and let's just is it true or false? Yeah, of course it should be true. 4 is equal to 4. How about this? console.log for this. Yeah, what you should see is the output coming from line 17. This is from line 17. So as you can see, this one, to equality, to equal sign, only checks the value. It doesn't check the data type. But if I use console.log for this false, as you can see, because the 3 equal sign checks both value and data type. And so this is how about if I put something like this, console.log for is different from 4. Of course, this is false. How about this? This should be true, because I am using t equal sign. This and this are not the same in both data type. They are the same in value, but not in data type. How about this? Might be a bit tricky to understand, but I hope you get it. So let's do just only this one. This will be false also. The reason, because this means this is not the same in value. Guys, did you understand these comparison operators? Because from comparisons we get Boolean values, and we use Boolean values to make decisions, to use conditions. That's why. Okay, and then let's move on to logical operators. Logical operators are actually OR. So OR is like this pipe up, and then this, and actually negation is also logical operators. So what's happening there? Let's undo. So logical operator, we use console.log. For instance, if 2 is less than 1, or something, 3 is greater than 2. But I think instead I can just show you with just normal Boolean. Console.log, if something is true or true, the result will be true. Console.log, and if it's true or false, and it's going to be again true. This only gets false if both the operands are false. Console.log false or false. Yeah, and the other is the AND operator, that is true and true, makes it true, and this gets true only when both the operands are true. Then console.log, and then true and false, this is going to be false. False and false is also going to be false. Yeah, great. So now you have this understanding. Now let's move on to but I think before that also we should know that the negation operation. Negation, for instance, if you have console.log, negation is this. If it's false, we can change it to true. As you can see, we have false, but we change this false to true. And even you can use double negation, and it's so double negation means it doesn't change at all. Now we are in the beautiful, yes, conditionals. If something happens, we do. If not, we do other thing. So let the condition is true, this condition is going to be executed, as you can see. But if this is false, yeah, if it is false, nothing. So we have to have also else. So if we have else, console.log, this is the else block. This is the else block. But sometimes instead of, like, if it's a boolean, instead of comparing, we just remove this. We don't have to compare it because the value of here by the end will be just a boolean. So we can just get the value like this. Yeah, now let's just do some example. An application, a small application with that checks if a number is a positive number or a 0 or something. Okay, so let a is equal to 3. If a is greater than 0, console.log, the number is positive, right? How do you write positive? Positive. Okay, great. The number is positive. Yeah, but how about if I change it to -3? It doesn't show anything, right? Yeah. Else console.log, the number is negative. As you can see, the number is negative. But how about if I change this to 0? The number is negative. Oh no, so we have to have else if, another condition. Else if the number is equal to 0, then I think console.log, the number is 0. It should be. So, but console, what is that? Okay, when I was writing, I make a typo. So the number is 0. As you, the number is 0. How about now if I put 1? The number is positive, true. If I put -2, the number is negative. If I put 0, the number is 0. Okay, great. As you can see. But how about instead of we write, we can get this value from a user. If you prompt, if you know prompt, enter a number. This is a way to get number from a user. So now as you can see, 10. The number is positive. Let's -10. The number is negative. 0. The number is 0. How about if I do just some text? The number is negative. So now we should do something else again. So else if a is less than 0, console.log, the number is negative. So, and else we can say this is not a number. Okay, as you can see, now I can say, why I click that, no reason. If I write something, it says this is not a number. By the way, instead of this, we can use string interpolation like this. And then the number is positive instead. I can just inject the value a like this. Yeah, so again, I can just change this string interpolation and a, and that has to be here. And again, it is okay, this yeah, we need oh no, we need the dollar. So, and we need the tick. Okay, now as you can see, if I put, for instance, 3 is positive number. Of course, 3 is a positive number, if you like, a proper English statement. Okay, let's go again. Is 0. Is a 0 or 0? I don't know. Is a negative number and is not a number. Okay, great. Let's try this again. 5 is a positive number. Minus 3 is a negative number. Great. And 0 is a 0, of course, yes. And this, so 0. Okay, 0 is not a number. Great. So now we learned if else, and also if else if, and we can change this to a switch also. Okay, a switch statement. But it's better to use another. Is it clear, guys? Let me know how did you get this? How was it? Yeah, let me see. Okay, so now let's do the same thing, another more example about weather. I like that example. But I have to turn this off by commenting out once. What is the weather like today? Let is raining. Is raining? True. If is raining, what we call is console.log. Please take your raincoat. Yes. Do I have still that? No. Yeah, I have this is raining, a variable, and then is raining. If it's raining, please take your raincoat. As you can see, please take your raincoat. How about if I change this to false? You don't see any output from this. The problem of if the condition is false, you don't see any result, right? So we need else statement console.log. The day does not look good. I think no, the other, the opposite. The day looks so great. As you can see, the day looks so great. Yeah. But you know, in life, conditions are not just 1 or 2 or 3. It could be many conditions. So we have to handle many conditions. Conditions could be 1 or it could be 10. So let's change, instead of is raining, actually we can change this to weather. Is the weather raining or sunny? Rainy. So I can say, is the weather rainy? As you can see, I'm using 3 equal sign, and that's best practice, because to be safe that, yeah. Then maybe we may have also other condition, else if weather could be sunny. You know, if it's sunny, you know what to do, right? Console.log such a shiny day. Let's go to the beach. Do you, don't you? Yes, because it's such a shiny day. Okay, Now we can check what we are getting. Rainy, since it's rainy, please take your raincoat. But if I change this to sunny, it should say such a shiny day, let's go to the beach. Okay, else if, but why this extra, this unnecessary one of here. Else if weather is cloudy or gloomy whatsoever, and you may say console.log, it is a cloudy and gloomy day. Okay, maybe another. Else if, the reason why we need all this is because just to let you know that you can use as many conditions as possible if you have the conditions. Foggy, it seems foggy, you may not have good visibility. Okay, yes, so we have different conditions, but now I think instead of me changing now and then, how about if we get this data from the user prompt, enter weather. Yeah, so I call it foggy. Such a shiny day, let's go to the beach. What did I wrote? I thought I wrote foggy. Okay, so I think foggy, weather foggy, it seems. Let me see my code. This the condition sunny, and then else if weather is equal to cloudy, and weather is equal to foggy. Seems foggy. Okay. Let's try it again. Then I don't see any problem. Foggy. 61. This is coming from 61. Yeah, what is this? Okay, let's run it once. Search. Can anyone? Oh wow, that's good. My eyes, yes, because this is like a string, so it is all the time true. And thank you for figuring out and for showing or debugging my code. We call this debugging. Sometimes such kind of mistake, it doesn't raise any error, so it's just never ending. You can't see it. This kind of bug, by the way, is just, it takes a half a day or a day to figure out. Sometimes if you have different files and if it is hidden in a different file, of course in one file it may be easy to figure it out after some time. Yeah, thank you so much. Now yes, let's foggy. As you can see, it seems foggy. You may have good, you may not have, you may not have very good visibility. Okay, how about if the user write like this, like this? Yes, the day looks so great. Yeah, and the day looks so great because this one, no, so we have to write this differently, because no one knows about the day. This is what we want to write there. Okay, now if I just say foggy and maybe like this, no one knows about the day. But if we change this to lowercase actually, to lower, why is this lower case? And now it may work for anything. For instance, sunny. Yeah, as you can see, such a shiny day. Let's go to the beach. Okay, next what it could be is actually a switch. Another alternative way of writing the same thing, we can use switch. So I can copy this and change it to switch. I comment it out and copy here again and change this to switch. Actually, to have a switch, you need switch. And then you need a curly bracket, and then what you need, the condition, that is the weather. Yes, we have the weather here. And then this will be cases. How many cases we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cases. So case, the first case, and it's going to be weather. It's going to be no, it's not like that. It could be rainy. So different case, and then we write this line of code. Copy, and then we should have a break, and again case sunny. With a break, this way I can write it faster. Case cloudy, and then with a break, and case, what was the other one? Foggy, I think. Foggy, and with a break, and the default, and the default value. This is the default value, and we don't have to have there a break, and this is going to for fogginess, and this is going to be for the cloudy, and cloudy, I did cloudy, and the sunny left. Yeah, okay, where is the sunny? Here you have. Great. Now we don't need this line of code, because let's check if this works the way we want. Unquote reference error, because we have removed something. We removed this by mistake. We need this code. Yeah, this line of code, we need it because we get the data from there. Now we can test it. Sunny. As you can see, such a shiny day. Let's go to the beach. Oh yeah. So this is if, but sometimes also you can use ternary operator. Ternary operator. And using ternary operator, you do the same like if, you know. For instance, let a value, you may say, if a is greater than 0, positive, else negative. We have to stop this. Maybe I will show you this. Have you seen? Oh, what? I have to turn this off too. What are you expecting? What's the value of what's the value of value? What value do you expect from this variable? Okay, let a is equal to 5. Yeah, of course you get positive. Yeah, it's positive. So we are using, this means actually if a is greater than 0, the value will be this one. If not, this. This is the else block, and this is the if block. The if block will be handled by the quotation, the question mark, and the else block handled by the quote. This is very powerful. It will really help you in React. React is using lots of ternary operators in many ways, and it really solves lots of things. Yeah, very powerful. Yeah, so yes, we are done with conditions. What's next? Arrays.js. Oh yeah, let's talk about lists or arrays. Have you ever written a shopping list or a to-do list or some kind of list of items or things? Yeah, well, let's I prefer to use const whenever I declare an array. Const empty array, for instance, empty array, I can declare something like this. So console.log empty array dot length to check the lengths. It's because I didn't connect that or link with this, so I don't need this file, so I just comment it out. So script again, and I have to link my dot arrays. The value is 0 because it doesn't have any item inside. So you can declare an empty array, something like this. Let's go to const numbers, and I have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, oh, 3. How do you check the links? Console.log numbers.length. I need some interaction, so unless otherwise I feel I'm just alone. So yeah, numbers.length, we have 3 as you can see. Now let's modify this or extract. How do you get out the value 1? By index. Actually in JavaScript or in many programming language, you access array values by their index, and the index starts from 0, 1, 2. So to get the value of 1, this is how we do numbers and then 0. Yeah, I managed to. So how do you extract then the next one? Let me know. So 0, 1. Then how about the last? Numbers dot 2. So this 2 is actually it's less than console.log is not a function. Why? What 9? Okay, yeah, good. We can also, to know the last index, let last index, actually we can find the numbers dot length minus 1. It's the same. So the length of this is actually 3, and the last index is this one is 0, 1, 2. That means to get the last index, we just subtract 1 from the length. So let's try again. Console.log numbers and last index. Unquote reference error condition 14. What did I do wrong? Last index. Oh, console. I think my, yeah. As you can see, the value is this way or this way. But the importance of this one is if the array is increasing, we can access it at any time, yeah? Because it's very powerful way of doing this. It's dynamic, okay? Yeah, now how about if I want to modify 2 to 20, for instance, or 3 to 300 or 30 or whatever number. So actually numbers, and then we target that value. For instance, let's modify the first one, 1 to 0, and then if I change it to maybe 20, console.log, and then numbers. If you see now I change 1 to 20, or maybe it's better if I change 1 to 11, you know. Maybe let's modify the second one. So console.log. No need to consoling. Okay, let me just just give me a moment. Okay, I'm back. So now let's try another numbers, and then if we try 0, what is this? To modify 20 to maybe 2 to 20. So the index of this one is 0, 1. So we pass 1, and if we change instead, let's change it to 20 to maybe. It looks good, right? So console.log, and the numbers just to see the change. Now as you can see, so we are modifying it. You target the index and you assign it to a new value, and then you can modify it. Yeah, is it clear, guys? How is it so far? Sorry. Okay, now you know how to modify or mutate. We call this mutation or modifying your arrays. Now let's talk about different methods, array methods. Pop, push, shift, and shift, slice, splice, and all these kind of methods. Very powerful if you know this in JavaScript. So you do lots of things. You should be really familiar with this kind of things when you go for interview, and also to feel more comfortable with JavaScript or React. Okay, now let's just do some fruit and vegetable. Yeah, fruits maybe. Okay, we have now, let's start with a mango, and then a banana, and yeah, that's good enough, right? So if you print out, console.log, fruits.length, of course you just see only 2 fruits, right? So we should get 2, yeah. Then if you want to just change one of the fruit, for instance the first fruit, the first fruit, maybe your favorite, maybe instead of mango it could be avocado. Okay, then if you now check, actually it's changed it, console.log fruits, and have you seen I managed to modify. And also now let's add something in this side. Maybe before adding, let's remove banana. How can we? Fruits.pop, remove the last, okay, one of the item by now. So what we are expecting, actually I'm just expecting only avocado. What type? Console is not yeah, console.log avocado as I expected, This is just we have avocado only. Maybe how about if we add, how do we add also fruits dot push, we need maybe pineapple, this one, I think it's just B, and no more, whatever, fruit dot push, maybe orange. Most people love orange. I'm pushing, as you can see now, console.log and fruits. If you see by now, avocado, pineapple, and orange we have here. Yep, great. Yeah, so how about if you want to remove something from this side, what you should do is actually shift. So print roots dot shift. If you do the shift and console.log and fruits, as you can see, we had before we had avocado, but now we don't have the avocado, it's removed, the pineapple. So the shift remove one thing from this side. How about if we want to add something from this side now? Fruits dot unshift, for instance, meat or milk. Okay, console.log. What is fruits? Our meat is added, as you can see. Yeah, great. So we learn about this. Slice is actually to slice out, and I think this is a bit complicated. Let's do a shopping cart. In our shopping cart, let's have meat, let's have milk, and let's have sugar, and let's give a sugar first time, coffee. Yeah, now I'm about to ask you, can you modify sugar to honey and coffee to tea? Okay, I would like to ask you to modify sugar to honey and coffee to a tea. Okay, let's do it together. Okay, shopping cart, I have to count milk 0, 1, 2. Sugar is at 2, so I have to say 2, and then instead honey is much better. And then let's also shopping cart, and 0, 1, 2, 3, and from 3 we change from coffee to tea. Yeah. Then if you see now, console.log shopping cart. Now meat, milk, honey, and tea. It's modified, mutated, and we have a different data form, a different data type. I mean, a different collection. Okay, how is it going? Who is still alive? Are you still alive? Are you following? Or shall we stop? Okay, then let's move on, guys, because Next is going to be a loop. There are lots of loops, but at least we can cover some of them. So let's link that file, and I will do actually a script and what is the name? Loops. Okay, great. Console.log loops. We're talking about loops. Why we need loops? You know, as a programmer, sometimes you may have some repetitive task, so you may want to use something automate your task. For instance, if I ask you to print hello world 100 times, yeah, console.log hello world 100 times, yeah, or maybe if I just make it a bit worth, and if I ask you to print 1 million times, can you do it? It will be very boring, very tedious, and very tiring, right? Oh really? It's not recorded? Oh yeah, it's not recorded, but there's something on Facebook, so I forgot to record. Yeah, today recording is not going very well anyway. Okay, so at least you are the lucky one. You are here and just getting the real and thing. So yeah. Okay, so let's move on for the loop. So actually, this is how we do loop. We need for let I, actually instead we have to have a condition initialization and a condition and increment or decrement, and then we need a code block. So that's how it works. So for instance, let I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, and I plus plus, that means increment by 1 every time, console.log, and then I want to print that I. Now I turn this because sometimes I don't like to end up with an infinite loop. So as you can see, I managed to print 0 to 4. Yeah, that's very good. If I want to do reverse order, I can say for I is equal to 5 and I greater than or equal to 0, I plus plus, and I may say console.log just I. Yeah, but the thing is, now I forgot to make this. Yeah, I ended up with infinite loop as I was afraid of that. Now, as you can see, I ended up with infinite loop. It might be hard to stop this. Yeah. Yeah, maybe even when you do loop, so you should be careful that you may run into infinite. Even I can't. Yes, at least we managed to close it, so we can start it again. So live server. Yeah, Control Shift I, and let's see. Yeah, as I told you, we managed to print 5 to 0 reverse order. So this is a for loop, so you can do lots of things. Let's bring those very nice where was this arrays? We have this. For instance, if we want to loop through this, you can loop through for let I is equal to 0, I less than shop cart dot length, and I plus plus, and if you say console.log and shop cart, and then you just pass the index and it will give you meat, sugar. And now even at the same time, if you want to change it to maybe to uppercase, yeah, it changed to uppercase, meat, milk, sugar, something like that. Okay, actually very fancy way of loop is I will introduce you for off loop. For off loop is a very nice one, very short. You can say, for instance, item of shop cart. Yeah, off. That means one of the item from the shopping cart. Console.log and then item dot to uppercase. I think this will help you to again print out. And maybe another thing I can add, there is also for in, for each, maybe while loop is it's important. While loop, let's do while. So you have to start with, for instance, let I is equal to 0. We can do while I is less than 5. We can say console.log and then again I plus plus what? Uncode. Whenever you see something like this, uncode reference cannot access I before initialization loop. It says so where 9, loop number 9. Let's see. Yeah, because we have to just let I. Good. So now as you can see, I have to print I and 0 to 4. You can do the same with a while loop and for loop. Do while loop, maybe to talk about do while loop, it runs at least once. So this is the syntax, do something and then check. Yeah, so for instance, let I is equal to 10, and if you say console.log and while I is less than, actually I used I at the top, so it's better to use K or J. I can say K. If K is less than 10, and I can just K minus minus. What? Not while I mean. Yeah. As you can see, this runs at least once. What's wrong here? Do we have infinite loop? Do yeah, if you run a push. So let's figure out this first. So we have a do. We are trying to console this out, and then every time we and then while case less than 10, but actually, so let's try to run it again. Yes, and let's turn this on. While T29 unexpected T29. Oh, this we have this. Okay. Oh, how is that managed? How is that possible? This is running. Okay, for instance, let's do k is equal to 5 and console k and plus plus, while k is, let's start from 0, and while k is less than 10. So let's try this because I didn't get why it was. Okay, so where is our loop? Yeah, now it makes sense. For instance, the plan is to print from 0 to 9, but for instance, if I change this to 11, yeah, it printed out once. Have you seen? It printed this out once, even though this doesn't fulfill the condition. Yeah, so I think this is in short about loops, and the next is going to be functions. That's so beautiful, right? JS. Let's move on. What is and why functions? But maybe before that, even function, we may talk about object structure. Const, for instance, person, and the person can have first name and the name, for instance, Sabina, and last name and Itai, and then country, whatever, Finland, and Finland, and get person info. This is a method, as you can see. So it has by itself a function inside. I think it's better to talk about later after function, but what you should know is an object has just like this. It's a structure. It has key value, key value, key value. It's more structured than just a simple variable. So yeah, let's talk about function. To declare a function, you need name of function, name of the function, and then parenthesis followed by curly bracket, and then we just, I am a very proud function. Yes, this function is so happy about it. So let's name of the function, but it's not showing up because we didn't link that. We don't need this anymore. I comment out. So let's just script then a function. Great. Now we should have a very proud function. It says there. Where was I? Where is that file actually? Why I don't see it? It's over here. So, but the reason why I just wrote such kind of name of function, because later you change it. For instance, do something function. Do something. Okay, let's do. And this is going to say, of course, I am doing something. And as you can see, it's crying here, unquote reference error. Name of the function is not defined. So yes, it's not defined because we changed it already. We called the function, you have a name, right? And people call you by name, by your name, and we should call a function by its name. The name of this function is do something, so I have to call the do something here. Do something. Yeah, when I call it, of course I'm doing something. Now let's just create a meaningful function, and I call it print full name. Now this print full name, it's just take for instance late first name, and then someone's name, maybe my name, and then last name, and maybe my last name, and then full name. Full name is the concatenation of first name plus last name. Yeah, and then console.log what is that? Full name. As you can see, now we're getting data from the top function. To get the value of function, you have to call it. If you don't call a function, you don't see anything. Yeah, full name. So now I have to see a type. But function actually to make use of the the good features of function, you have to make a variable. First name here, last name here. Don't do that. Last name. So first name, last name, and then we don't need actually this one, and we just need only this. And here actually we can say sub and then type, as you can see. And now we can do more. We can reuse this function Donald J Trump, Donald, and here it goes Trump, and John Doe. Yeah, John Doe. So it's printing for you. That's the importance of function. Once you make it, you can reuse your function. It makes your code more readable and also reusable and easy to test. Yeah, to test it. What does that mean, test? You know, sometimes you write something, but you never know if it is supposed to do what it is supposed to. Yeah, that is function. Now let's do another function. Maybe I think I have to also teach you this arrow function. We can change, but before that, now I'm just console.log. It's not a very good idea. Instead, we have to return the value full name. Now I'm returning. So if you return something from a function, actually you are storing the data. But if you don't return a value, the value of that function is actually undefined. So remember to return something from your function. Yeah. Of course, there are cases in which you don't have to return a value from a function, but I strongly recommend you to check why the reason you are using that function. And so now to get the value, so console.log, and let's print out this value, and console.log, and again we will see the value out. As you can see, yeah, my name, Donald J Trump, yes, our best friend, and John Doe, our best example of all time, is there. Oh, great. So now another thing, actually nowadays we can use this arrow function. Yeah, arrow function, or maybe I think it's better to start from I can just comment this out, copy, comment out, and I will talk about function expression. The previous, what we have covered is function declaration, and now we are talking about function expression. So you don't need const and this print name and actually and then function. This is how you write it, and it works the same. And even nowadays, an elegant way of writing function, copy, I'm commenting it out, and then we call it arrow function, and that is going to be, and let's, even you don't need this function keyword. Instead, actually you need an arrow, and still this is another elegant function, very clean and easy to read. So there's no much thing going on, as you can see. Even we can write that on one line, so I don't have to return this like this because there's no match inside this code block. Even I just return this like this. Yeah, that's really good. So we are returning the value explicitly, and it works the same the way it used to. Yeah, let's see. Oh, okay, so where was I? Yeah, it's printing. Now let's do another more function. For instance, const square, make everyone square. Okay, let's do that. And I'm going to use an arrow function after this, guys, so you are introduced and you know how to use an arrow function, and I will use. So if it's to make a square, you need n, and then to make it to this is what you need. So clean, have you seen? So console.log, I have to call make square, and if I pass 3, and I should get 9. Yeah, I think this is just an insight for JavaScript. I believe you are an absolute beginner, some of you. Is it possible to use other concatenation for what? Where exactly? Yeah, maybe I can show you something. For instance, let's do some function, a function which can add or create. Okay. For let I is equal to 0 and I less than 10 and I plus plus, and let's do something console.log. For instance, you can use, I prefer this concatenation. This is the very good concatenation. I times I, because you can do almost anything you want, and it's so easy to concatenate using a string interpolation times for instance, have you seen I made this like I can change this to a more human way, and you can make this like this. Now I want to ask you to create a function called calculate sum of evens. Sum of evens. So if I give you 100, then your task is to sum the value of even numbers from 0 to 100. Yeah. Okay. Okay, const sum of evens. And then we go something like this. This is the skeleton. First, just make the skeleton, and then n. And then you know, so you have to loop through from for let I is equal to 0 and I less than or equal to n plus 1. Or actually, or equal to n and I plus plus. If you go something like this, actually, if you print the value, let me show you. Oh, sorry. Console.log I, and I have to call that function, right? Sum of evens. If you print what, we should stop this. We don't need that. Yeah. Okay, I didn't pass anything, so I have to pass something, or 10 for instance. As you can see, I'm printing from 0 to 10. But if I just increment by 2, I will manage to print out only even numbers, 0, 2. So what I want to do is actually to sum only the evens. So let sum is equal to sum plus is equal to, and then the I value, and then we return this sum. So the sum of, so to get the value this, you just print this out, console.log and sum, and the value is 30. If you change this to 100, it will be 2550. Maybe another thing, for instance, how to pass this default parameter. Let's calculate the weight of some object. Calculate weight of some object. Great. Const calculate weight of some object. So we need mass and gravity. Yeah, that's the most important thing, right? To calculate weight. But you can imagine, you know, most of us, we do not go to space. We don't go to Mars or to the moon or anywhere. Most of the time we spend our life on planet Earth. So it's better to make the gravity just 9.81. Then we can just return the value mass times gravity. So this function, whenever you use this function, console.log calculate, and then you just, for instance, I'm 75, so I don't have to use this gravity. But if you go to Mars or is at the moon, calculate, for instance, my weight 75, and I think in the moon it's 3.71, and it is 2, so have you seen? And if you want to change it to Newton also, you can just use string interpolation. This is, and you can add some Newton. What is that? Okay, so yeah, this is the result. Guys, thank you so very much for attending today's lesson. This is not a detailed thing about JavaScript. I just gave you some starting point to get started JavaScript. Or maybe if you have been just doing this and that, it's also to solidify some of the things you have covered so far already. So this is actually just an appetizer, you may call it, if you so this is not just a full course, but maybe in 2021 next year I may have a boot camp, short boot camps in a month, or maybe some I'm not sure when exactly, but if you want, you may join immersive boot camps, which can help you to solidify your programming skill and to be a developer. And something you should consider if you are about to shift a career from something, from some of your so don't worry about it while you are working something. You can also develop your skill from the internet. Nowadays the internet is full of information and lots of things. You can really get lots of important material, and you can be whatever you want without university degree. You don't have to have a master or a PhD or some another qualification to be a very good developer. What you need is a good mentor or a peer, someone who can assist you. For instance, 30 days of Python, 30 days of JavaScript. There's a good community there. Stick into such kind of environment. Find a very good environment, community, which can help you, which can push you move forward. That is the best way. I'm not that much in favor of universities. I would say such kind of learning can help you much better to get the working knowledge. So consider that. So how was your learning experience today? How can you rate your learning experience, your understanding, everything from 1 to 10? Let's see. And how was it? Okay, great. Thank you so much, guys. So I can't promise to release um, I can't really release the video because today we didn't manage to record everything together. But the morning Python lesson has been recorded very well. Everything is intact and it's good. But this lesson, for some reason, the Facebook streaming didn't have any voice, and the second session was not recorded. So a kind of so, but